What's up, everyone? Today we are here to discuss emerging markets because there has arguably never been a better time in history to be one. The stars are aligning. Developing economies are perfectly positioned to gain the most from this financial revolution that is underway. In this video, we'll go over what makes a market emerging, and we'll talk about how cryptocurrency, specifically Bitcoin, is impacting these areas of the world. So, an emerging market, like, is it hidden under the covers, popping its head out, spying on you or something? Seriously, what does emerging even mean? Though every country is always developing, no economy remains stagnant. Some are ascending and others are descending. Emerging markets may have lower than average per capita income or could be prone to currency swings, but they typically experience rapid growth and offer high potential returns for investors. They are places full of expectations and are in the process of undergoing very rapid economic growth and industrialization. Emerging markets typically exist outside major Western powers. I know. It's a little murky, like most generalizations are. But remember, this is just a framework to help give us a way to group these oh so different places together. They're ascending in the economic sphere of global development. This rise creates a lot of volatility, but with that volatility and risk comes great reward. Sound familiar? Markets such as these are able to take chances. Leaders may be more willing to embrace change to remain in power and help their jurisdiction succeed, reacting to the current economic and political climate more nimbly than, say, the United States, where it can take forever and a day to get changes made. This is especially true when dealing with cryptocurrency. We've seen this play out in real time recently. The larger emerged countries have been slow to act in many, if not all cases, but smaller emerging countries like El Salvador have made huge waves in the space with their quick, decisive moves. Speaking of El Salvador, let's take a closer look at what crypto has done there since it's taken root. What started out as a small project called Bitcoin Beach in the sleepy surf town of El Zonte turned into a countrywide movement. On September 7th, 2021, El Salvador became the first country in the world to make Bitcoin legal tender. Welcome to this show. I mean, what a way to take the spotlight and shine it directly on you. Their president, Najib Bukele, a somewhat controversial figure to say the least, instantly gained international recognition with such a bold step. They were able to act quickly, announcing their intention in early June 2021, and had the law go into effect at the beginning of September that same year, whereas most larger countries would have had a tough time with this. Now, that's not to say there weren't people protesting against this radical change in El Salvador, but overall, many locals are supportive of Bitcoin as they see their quality of life improving. El Salvador, being dollarized since 2001, has had to be an underling of the United States, subject to US currency policy instead of controlling their own destiny. With this new Bitcoin law in place, El Salvador has more financial freedom, their GDP has grown, and tourism has skyrocketed over the last year. And there are other crypto projects in the works, such as Bitcoin City, a tax-free Bitcoin haven, which will be built at the base of a volcano, surely adding to this positive feedback loop. El Salvador has stepped up to be a global leader, showing others how powerful the adoption of Bitcoin can be. Though we haven't yet seen other countries make cryptocurrency legal tender, there are sure to be other dominoes that will fall. Already, there are small pockets of citizens in other emerging markets experimenting with this idea. Another country dabbling with cryptocurrency is Costa Rica. Not the entire country, but the southern Pacific coast. Areas like Dominical and Uvita have recently taken El Salvador's Bitcoin Beach idea and started something called Bitcoin Jungle. Just to be clear, this isn't an official government law or program, but some local businesses have taken it upon themselves to transact in Bitcoin. People can spend their sats over the Lightning Network instantly without having to convert into the local Costa Rican colones. Unlike El Salvador, Costa Rica has a long history of tourism. People from all over the world flock to Costa Rica and bring along their respective currencies. Therefore, businesses in the area have been drawn to the idea of transacting in a currency that doesn't have any borders and one that is inherently international. So we have a Bitcoin beach and a Bitcoin jungle. But what about a Bitcoin lake? Any takers? The beautiful Lake Atitlan in Guatemala, so serene, is now home to the Bitcoin Lake project. The water is lined with various towns, each idyllic in their own way, but now even more spectacular with the addition of Bitcoin sprinkled in. The Bitcoin Lake project is primarily located in the town of Panajachel, also known as Pana. Currently, there are 17 businesses in the area that accept Bitcoin. And while the government in Guatemala doesn't recognize Bitcoin as legal tender yet, if history has anything to say, we might see some fireworks soon. With 60 to 65% of Guatemalans not having a traditional bank account, Bitcoin gives its users the economic freedom they so greatly need and deserve. We keep seeing this happen again and again in emerging markets. The main goal of the Bitcoin Lake project is to provide an opportunity for Guatemalans in the area. Also, there are plans to fund the cleanup of Lake Atitlan using Bitcoin, which can only serve to make this place even that much more beautiful. Continuing through the Latin America region, I promise, this is the last one. For now. Mexico. Recently in this emerging market, there has been some crypto murmuring. A certain senator has decided to work on a Bitcoin legal tender bill similar to El Salvador's. Her name is Indira Kempis. She plans to introduce the bill later in 2022. Basically, she is saying what a lot of other politicians are coming to realize, and what we pretty much already know. Bitcoin promotes financial inclusion. It gives people access to banking products which they may not have otherwise been able to get. It provides them with a way to save that is safe from the hidden tax of inflation. The inflation we get when the currency we save in is being printed to oblivion. It will be interesting to see how all of this unfolds, as Latin America has become quite the hotbed in this cryptocurrency revolution. We see this theme in emerging markets where people are willing to take risks to build a better life for themselves. This is the human spirit in action. We are seeing it play out in real time all over the world. Latin America isn't the only place this is happening. Another market we see adopting cryptocurrency is Africa, specifically South Africa. The project's name is Bitcoin Akazi and is based in the townships surrounding Mossel Bay, South Africa. Again, a beach town. Must be something with all those waves. Anyways, the project aims to help some of the poorest townships in the area realize the economic benefits that Bitcoin can bring. There's the usual list of financial freedom, the ability to save in a deflationary currency, and unstoppable transactions. But in this case, Bitcoin has also been helpful in another way, and that's protection from physical violence. As most of the businesses in the area hold cash, the physical security of that cash can be an issue. Proper management of Bitcoin private keys can help alleviate some of this risk. A substantial amount of stores accept Bitcoin in the area, and the project is working on adding more. Saving and spending in Bitcoin is a priority. This is yet another example of a closed-loop Bitcoin economy sprouting up. As time progresses, we have seen more and more of this happening. At some point, the floodgates will open. And let's talk about one more area around the world that's highlighting the tremendous power of cryptocurrency. The final place we'll cover here is a very isolated place, like out in the middle of an ocean isolated. If you're alone on an island, economic development can be a tad tough. That's why the island nation of Tonga has been mulling over cryptocurrency adoption. A prominent political figure, Lord Fusitua, has been hinting at plans for the country to accept Bitcoin as legal tender. He claims the earliest would be sometime in 2023 for something like this to come to fruition. The islands of Tonga have an excess of power with 21 different volcanoes, and they have easy access to high-speed internet thanks to a plan enacted a few years ago by the government. If they do move forward with a legal tender status, Bitcoin mining could be done all over the islands, creating a massive amount of wealth throughout their use of that excess energy. With that wealth comes further development that would create new economic opportunities for their citizens. We are still early, everyone. There's only going to be more and more nations taking the plunge, making the decision to legalize cryptocurrency. Consider yourself lucky. We're watching global monetization of cryptocurrency in real time. At this moment, emerging markets are leading the way, and it's going to be interesting to see where things go from here. Thanks everyone for all your support. Remember to smash that like button before we go, and we'll talk again soon. Adios.